This is Frank at Bottomline Ministries DebtFree. I hope that you had a great week. I've had quite a good summer. I've taken some time off, but now I'm back. And I'm back to talk to you about some things that I think will help you and change your life, and realizing that debt is not your destiny. Debt is not your destiny. I want you to be debt-free. I want you and your family to have choices in life, to be able to live the kind of life that God intended for you to live. For Jesus said this in John 10:10, I not only came that you could have life, but that you could have it more abundantly. And another translation says that you can have it to the full. And one of the ways to having a full life is to not be burdened down with debt. And so I just wanted to talk to you this evening about some things. The last time we were together, I told you I had some things I wanted to share with you, simple things that help you to eliminate debt or reduce your debt and hopefully get rid of it altogether, to release you from that bondage so you have the freedom to make your choices so that you can have an abundant life. And for the next few minutes, I just want to talk to you about a thing I call 15 minutes of sanity. If you own your own home, this will help. It can change your life. It can reduce your mortgage. If you have a 30-year mortgage, it can take up to 10 years off your mortgage. If you have a 15-year mortgage, it can reduce that substantially also. And I call it 15 minutes of sanity. You know, every year, most Americans get a tax return. And when we get that tax return check, whether it's for $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, the first thing we start thinking about is what we can do with this. Oh man, I'm going to go on vacation. I can put down on a new car. I can buy a new wardrobe. All the things that we can do with that money, that refund. But one of the things I call 15 minutes of sanity that can change your life. If you would take, if you would just simply with your mortgage, if you make an extra mortgage payment every year, that's one extra mortgage payment every year. Do you know you can take up to 10 to 12 years off your mortgage? So if you had a 30-year mortgage, then that will cut it down to an 18-year mortgage. And think of all the money, thousands of dollars in interest you'll never have to pay. Well, you say, well, Frank, where am I going to get that kind of extra money? I'm glad you asked. That's what I'm talking about. Your tax return. Let's say, for instance, you got a tax return for, say, $5,000 or $3,000. And let's say your mortgage is $1,500 or $2,000. What if you took that $1,500 or $2,000 and just wrote out a check to principal only? Make sure you put on the check for principal only. And you made that extra payment to your mortgage company. And it goes directly to the principal. They can't take anything else out of it. It's not for interest. It's directly to the principal. The principal is the actual amount you owe on your home. Not the interest, but the actual amount. It would reduce that. And if you did that for 10 years, just 15 minutes, you could cut 10 to 12 years off of your mortgage. Isn't that exciting? I think it is, because it could change your life. Imagine how much you pay in interest every year and times that. Do you know that most of the times when you make a mortgage payment, let's say if your mortgage payment is $2,000, maybe $300 of that goes to your actual principal? And I'm being very liberal with my numbers here. But the rest of that goes towards the interest. That's $1,700 a month going towards interest that you would never have to pay. What could you do with that money? So I just wanted to give you that little tip. And I want you to check it out for yourself. And another thing you can do to add to that, call up your mortgage company and tell them that you want to do bi-weekly payments. Meaning instead of paying it one time a month, let's say if your mortgage, I like to use simplicity. Let's say if your mortgage is $2,000. So you would pay $1,000 on the first and another $1,000 on the 15th. that too will cut several years off of your mortgage of interest that you would never have to pay. And you're paying the exact same amount, but you're only paying it twice a month. You pay it on the 1st and the 15th, and it can come out automatically, and it wouldn't change anything but the amount of money that you paid. And if you put those two together, what if you could take at least 10 to 15 years off of your mortgage with those two simple tools that I just gave you this evening? Check it out with your mortgage company. Check it out with your financial planner. Check it out and see if what I'm not telling you is true, because I just want you to be able to have the life that Jesus said that you could have. You could not only have life, but have it more abundantly. But, we have a responsibility in it too. In the Bible, every promise in the Bible is available to us. But there's a qualifier, and it says, if you. That means it's a partnership. That means God has a part and I have a part. And I got good news and I have bad news. The good news is God will do his part. The bad news is he won't do yours. So this is Frank at Bottomline Ministries DebtFree. I hope that you have a great week. I look forward to seeing you again this time next week. Have a blessed night. And remember, debt is not your destiny. And also, don't forget, check out my website, bottomlineministries.org. Good night.